If you like this video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. For just $1 a month, your name can appear at the beginning of this and many other upcoming videos.
A cupcake? Yes! But wait, there's more! It's an invitation to visit the Cheese Sandwich Amusement Factory!
Cheese Sandwich opened a factory?
Weird Al is back? It was pretty hard for me to determine how I would feel about this episode when I first heard about it. On one hand, I was really interested seeing Weird Al's Cheese Sandwich returning. Like they really wanted to go all out with this being the last Pinky-centric episode. On the other, this episode was being written by the same people who wrote that. But after making time to watch it, this actually turned out a lot better than I thought it would. It's not nearly as good as Pinky Pride, but it was still pretty good. Pinky receives an invitation to Cheese's gag factory and decides to go, thinking that he might be able to help her find her purpose in life. But when she gets there, she discovers that Cheese has lost his laugh, and she must now find a way to bring it back. There's some good comedy in the episode, obviously with the help of Weird Al's talent and Pinky's chemistry with the other characters and setting. There's a pretty good variety of jokes. Visual gags, character-based puns, deadpan humor, gags fueled by interactions of the cast, and they do it in a way that isn't overplayed. The episode shows off a big slew of jokes while maintaining its focus on developing the story, so the pacing manages to stay steady throughout. It knows how to rapid-fire its jokes while not holding on them for too long, resulting in well-timed comedy and a consistent tone. What also helps is the energy put into the animation. The quick pacing of the jokes is further elevated by the animation, as it's able to express the emotion and impact of the comedy very well. I still remember that bit where Pinky tries making Cheese smile by stretching his cheeks out, with the fluidness of the animation really selling the expression in this visual gag. Even something like seeing a colorful rainbow over such a gloomy-looking factory adds a nice sense of irony to the episode's atmosphere. You have all these silly situations taking place in what's otherwise a mundane and boring setting. They make do with what they can in this factory, and they really manage to have fun with it. This doesn't come across as a surprise, but Weird Al's Cheese Sandwich is really fun to watch. What's really impressive about this particular instance of the character is the episode really shows how good Al's acting range is. He can pull off different emotions other than just being zany and goofy, and it's done in a way that helps the audience connect with his situation. He goes through a really big burnout, causing him to slip into a state of doubt, making him act all monotone and uncertain. It's actually kinda strange watching Al playing off a more serious role, especially with a character who's so widely known for being a male version of Pinky. But he pulls it off pretty well, and it molds with his more silly and optimistic moments. What makes it better is how it perfectly ties into both the moral and Pinky's character arc, about Pinky working towards a goal and dealing with burnout by being overwhelmed by your passions. At first I was a bit confused by Pinky talking about how she was still looking for her purpose in life, but listening to the way she addresses the accomplishments made by Cheese and the main seven, it's actually something completely different. The point she makes is that all of her friends were moving on to bigger things, while she's more or less stayed in the same place that she was in the beginning. She was actually worried about being in a state of stagnation, not knowing if she's actually gone anywhere or made any progress like the others. It's the difference between having a purpose in life and working towards a goal. She wasn't motivated by a lack of purpose as much as she was by moving on to something bigger, which she didn't feel like she had, while the others had progressed to grander things. But at the end of the episode, when she sees how important it is for Cheese to hear the reception of people's laughter, she starts to see how charitable it is for her to spread it so much. It showcases the importance of how creativity needs feedback, as well as seeing the difference between giving happiness and receiving it from others. By seeing it firsthand, Cheese knew for sure that people looked up to his work, and he experiences the appreciation that others have for his gift. It gave Cheese the motivation to keep doing what he did, feeling assured that what he was doing had meaning to it. So when Pinky reaches her conclusion at the end of the episode, it fits with how she helped Cheese realize what he was missing. Pinky is known for achieving self-realization through making others laugh as opposed to introspection, so seeing everyone in the factory laughing at the fun times they had is what gives her the spark she needs to find her answer. She doesn't need to pursue any grand change or something big because what she's doing now, spreading happiness and laughter to others, is a goal in and of itself. And aside from that, they actually do a pretty good job laying out the message about dealing with burnout. Cheese was really happy spreading cheer through his gags, but during his time in the factory it ended up becoming a burden because he felt like too much was being expected from him. He was doing his best to keep people satisfied with the increasing demand of his jokes, themselves, and along the way it became too much. With all of this overwhelming pressure, he entered a state of stagnation and expressed a lack of interest in his own work. He sunk so deeply into it that he forgot why he was doing it in the first place, which caused him to lose his enthusiasm. It's a moral about not losing yourself in your job or hobby so much that you lose track of your passions. To keep a good hold on why you enjoy doing something and not letting it turn into a chore. It's actually a really important lesson for a lot of people who put time into their passions or daily routines, be it content creators or even something as simple as working as a store clerk. And the episode does such a good job getting that across by showing all the time that she's been cooped up inside the factory. As somebody who's been doing this for the last 4 to 5 years, this lesson just really hit home. And I'd imagine that it also hit with a lot of other people who spent the last 10 years talking about ponies. So the last laugh was actually pretty good. It has good comedy, good character development for both Cheese and Pinkie, and it tells a well-paced story with an important moral delivered in a clever way. It's a really fun time and amongst the best of Season 9. This season is just on such an incredible roll, and I really can't wait to see what they got next.
It's not that we were bad. It's that you didn't even want to try to help us get better.
Didn't try? What are you talking about? I got you a party cannon. It's not my fault you couldn't figure out how to use it right.
Well, you could have shown us!
Oh, ponies might actually care about Cheer Squad if she cheered like that all the time.
Oh. That's not good.